Sir, is photography a thing to pursue? Is it a profession or is it a lifestyle?
For me, it's life.
Hmm.
It's not lifestyle, it's life, right?
Hmm.
It's meditation, it's life, it's food, it's energy, it's wind, it's breathing, whatever you call it. If no photography, I'm basically no one. For others, I don't know if you're asking from a perspective of whether it's a profession. As I said, it's a great profession to be in.
Yeah, it is. But like, I feel of all the things that are required to be a good photographer, I think it's more like a lifestyle than just a thing to study.
Yeah, so it's basically for whatever you do in life. I have realized that very late in life, one, you have to be lucky to do what you want to do in life and be paid for it. And secondly, if you're doing that, you need to understand it has to be a entire it that has to be the center point of where your life actually revolves.
Hmm.
Right? આ કંઈ ધંધો નથી.
Hmm.
It's different from business where you work from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 and then you detach,
Hmm.
which most of us don't. We bring back our worries home, but photography, you cannot detach.
Yeah.
When you're home also, you're thinking about the next project, or you are thinking of what good you did today, how I can improve. And also the boon or the curse of a photographer is always aware and thinking. So when I'm looking at you and I'm so thinking that Selvin has maybe made a mistake in lighting and says I'm करे उधर सारवर, right? Or I was thinking ना बस आने lighting बहुत सारी करीस, ये camera angle थोड़ा ऐसा होता तो क्या लगता, right? So you're also observing. I'm looking at him and looking at her, and you're observing things, right? So you can never let yourself be out of an ecosystem or
Completely
as an
free.
artist,
Yeah.
whether a photographer or anything, and only then I think you can even live and survive in what you're doing.
So, sir, after being awarded so many awards and recognitions and traveling 200 days in a year, doing so many different projects, what's your inspiration today at this point?
See, as I said, I feel I'm blessed that I have the
Hack luggage?
થાક તો નથી લાગતો. Physically at times, because I stand, I'm not getting younger by the day. So when I stand 14 hours every day, at point of times you feel कि boss थोड़ा थाकी गया. But mentally you're never tired. You never feel कि बस काले shoot नत करो. Right? You're always, but because I'm married to the idea of, I'm been born to be a photographer and I got very late into this field, so I feel कि बस I have a lot to catch up. And basically I feel હજી ઘણું બધું શૂટ કરવાનું બાકી જોવાનું બાકી છે પૈસા તો બનતા રહેશે. So and then you're enjoying every moment that you're doing, so mentally you're never stressed out. So I think you need to be blessed to be doing whether if you tell me that I had the courage to shift from business into photography, yes, I took a big step, but basically also because I was blessed that I was allowed to do what I want to do.
सर फोटोग्राफीमध्ये सिनेमॅटोग्राफीમાં ट्रान्झिशन કર્યું when you started doing video as well. How was that transition? Did you change something?
So basically, as I said, photography is about clicking that magic moment, only. And then maybe if you're doing a photo series, you're linking it to different aspects of what you're doing. But what I was always, impressed in cinematography on how you weave stories. So that's why I was very fascinated. And during COVID, when we were doing nothing, I was, I learned cinematography on my own at home, and then I was practicing, and I started doing a few films. So atyare, and it gives me a break from photography also. And still I'm in the same zone. So, it's a very inspiring thing because here I'm just shooting one magical moment. There I have to shoot a sustained magical, series of magical moments and then weave it into a story. So that whole idea of editing, weaving it into a story, making a film is also a very interesting space that now I'm in.
Has the camera, the piece of gear, the equipment, has it taught you anything? The device?
So basically the device is just an extension of what you want to see, right? If I don't see and observe, the device is useless. What the device has helped me is become a better photographer because it's helped me ease the process of shooting, that's it.
But sir, one thing to observe is different and to see a photograph is a different thing. I can be aware of a lot of things around me, but the ability to have that vision that composition is a totally different.
So, you know what? When a photographer looks at anything, he's also looking at, from the sense of photography only. So, when I'm looking at you in 35 mm right now. I know that you will look good in 35 mm, and that this much is the frame that I'm. So, whenever a photographer is looking at life, also, he's looking at the cropped reality. He's hyper aware of things, but everything is a visual delight.
Yeah.
Right? So, that is what photography teaches you.
So it's not an eye, it's a viewfinder. So last couple of points. Are media features or getting into these big platforms or
Media?
featuring into these media platforms like AD or Nat Geo or Discovery, is it still relevant, or in the day of Instagram and everybody is a photographer?
Yeah, it is. It's very relevant because see, basically it's a platform where you have people of common interest coming in. Right? Today, if I have my Instagram profile and say 20,000 people or 10,000 people are seeing it, it's that set of people. But if I am on AD or if I am on Nat Geo or if I am on Discovery or wherever I'm basically posting my images on a platform where there is a pool of people with a common interest. So it's always helping you. And in terms of commercially, if you talk about new photographers, for us also, if you're featured in these platforms, there is a lot more new business that comes in because new people look at it. ID mano photo chapa hai, who is this guy? Let me look him up. Right? So commercially it does help, and it also boosts your confidence. As I said, being on Nat Geo boosted my confidence, and it gave me that confidence to take the leap of faith and get into photography full time, which I maybe have not taken if I was not featured on National Geographic. Maybe.
So what's your take on AI? AI is generating a lot of images.
I have still not dabbled with a lot of AI. Right now, AI is a boon for me. In editing and certain things, it has helped. I'm very amazed on what is happening, and basically in videos you're seeing that you have AI generated voices, but I still feel there is the human brain is still way more ahead, because even if you're editing a film, AI still cannot think the way you cannot.
Yeah.
And but it's a great tool. It's like it's a digital camera. Like digital camera did not kill photography. It helped it grow. AI also, I think, will help us grow in a certain way, but we'll have to adapt to it. There is no denying that we'll have to adapt to it, and adapt to it very fast.
Sir, considering the competition that is there in the market, considering the technological advancements that are coming up, social media and everything else, what will be your tip for the upcoming budding photographers or cinematographers? Essentials.
See, one thing is competition is growing because a lot more people are now open to coming into photography as a career, vis-a-vis 10 years back, when probably, or 20 years back, if I had thought of coming, I would never become a photographer. But today photography is a more happening field, and more people are jumping into it, so competition is increasing. But some demand has also grown tenfold, right? Because of Instagram, every single person wants his product or to be shot and put up, because good content is a big necessity now. It's no longer a luxury, right? And the cost of producing content has gone down. Like a big ad, which used to cost 50 lakhs, is now can be produced in 4 or 5 lakhs, right? Or maybe in 50,000 with a reasonably good quality, because the Instagram per John, it serves a purpose. So, and maybe a big corporate earlier used to need one ad film in a year. Today they need 20 reels every month. So the whole demand has also grown 100 times, and the photographers also must have grown like 100 times. So there is still a big gap, I would say, of good photographers, which is there in every field. So if you're good, there is no lack of work, and more importantly, if you're enjoying and you're producing good work, I think you don't need to run after work anymore for photographers. Like work is just following you, and the biggest advantage is you have a ready platform to promote yourself. पहला तो काम करो तो बताओ क्या. Exhibition करो is a big expense. અને એમાં માંડ 100 લોકો જોવા આવે. હવે Instagram તમારું મોકોન promoted, 1 lakh people can see it. So I think it's much more easier, more accessible, but don't do it if you want to do a business. Photography में बहुत पैसों जेम करी ना होता अंदर, because you know you're insulting an art form. It's not a business, it's an art, right? So basically only if you want to get married to the idea that you want to create something, come to it, and if you come to it with an open mind, there is no looking back.